Very good afternoon to all. Myself R.MOHANASUNDARAM, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Applications. And today I want to going to handle the session as R vector. Okay, R vector is an basic data structure. Okay, what is the use of the data structure? The data structure used to store the data and process the data in any one of the programming languages, whether language may be a C, C++, Java, and then R programming. So vector is an data structure especially used for R programming. Okay, so that is a vector. Next, what is the use of the vector? We can store the elements in the sequential manner. It is one after another. That should be a vector. A vector supports both the logical, integer, double, character, complex, and the raw data types. Okay, meaning in the sense the vector can support all kind of data. The data type may be a logical, vector, logical, integer, double, character, complex, and then raw data type. And the next, the elements inside the vector we can call it as an components of the vector. Okay, what are all the elements inside the vector we can call it as an components of the vector. Okay, right? So how we can check what kind of data should be present inside the vector with the help of the type of function. The type of function used to check what kind of data present inside the vector, right? That should be a type of function only. Okay, right? The length of the vector is an important property. Okay, the length indicates how many number of elements reside inside the vector. That should be a length of the vector. Here the built-in functions for the length we can call it as a length of function, right? Normally the vector is classified into two types. What are they? It may be an atomic vector, another one is a list. That should be an three common type of properties for an vector. One is a function type, second one is a function length, and the third one is an attribute of the function, attributes of the functions. So what are all the operations we have to perform inside the vector, or we can call it as an access sequence of the vector. We can call it as an one is a type of the vector, and second how to create an vector. The third one is how we can access an element inside the vector, and fourth one is a vector operation. So what are the operations we have to perform with the help of the vector, and the next one is an applications of the vector, right? That should be an where we can apply the vector, we can call it as an applications, right? So the first one we can go for how to create a vector in R. So here also the R programming language, the library function, built-in library function is C of function. Okay, with the help of the C of the function we can create a vector. Create a vector, that should be important, right? So what are the ways we can create a vector? The two ways we can create a vector. First one is using the colon operator. Okay, the colon operator can be used to create a vector. Okay, that is an important. So how we can call it as so x equal to x colon y in the sense. Okay, so here this is an example, and we can go for that below the numbers numeric example. A is a variable, it assigns some the values 4 to minus 10. In the sense the range of value reside inside the vector from minus 4 to minus 10 in the sense. Okay, that is an not a minus 4. Here A is an assignment operator. The left arrow mark indicated as an assignment operator. That should be an 4 to minus 10. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2 up to minus 10. Second, we can go for the sequence of function, right? The sequence of function is also another way we can create a vector. That should be an sequence of function. It is also a built-in function, right? Here I see the example here. So sequential vector is the name of the variable. So assign the name of the function is an seq is the name of the function. Assigned to the variable is a sequential vector. Comma 1 to 4, we can store the value in the vector 1 to 4 by the interval of 0.5. So what is an output for this? 1.0, sorry 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and then 3, 3.5, 4. Like that we can print the value interval is in 0.5. Then next we can go for atomic vector. The atomic vector can be broadly classified into 4 type of the vector. The atomic vector play an important role in the data science. So atomic vector can be created with the help of the CA function, right? So what are the types of atomic vector? It may be an integer vector, character vector, logical vector, and then numerical vector. So what is a numerical vector? The decimal value is known as the numerical data types in R. So in R programming, the floating point value can be treated as a decimal value. That should be a numerical vector. We can assign any decimal value to any variable. So that should be a numeric vector. That should be a numeric vector. See the example for the numeric vector. That is a T of D is an assignment operator 40.5. It should be a numeric vector. And then the numeric vector C of 10.1, 10.2, and then we can store the more than one value into the single vector, or it may be a single variable, right? That should be printed here. So what it contains? The first one assignment statement indicated as n 45.5, and then second one is a 10.1, and third one is a what kind of data if it is numeric, class D and then class numeric vector. So both are written, the what kind of data should be stored inside the vector. Okay, right? The next one is an integer vector. Okay, integer vector just opposite for the numeric vector. That is a non-fractional part. That should be a whole value stored into the integer vector. Okay, the integer data is represented by an integer. The integer size may be a 2 bytes long, or it may be a 4 bytes. Okay, there is a two way to assign an integer value to a variable by using as an integer function, or append L to the value, or it may be append the L to the value. See the example program. So D is a variable as integer as 5, and then E is a variable, we can store the 5, and then L, it should be a long integer. And the next one integer vector, it contains the C of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 value. And the next we can go for integer as an integer of integer vector. What kind of data should be stored inside the integer vector? That should be an integer. Okay, these are all the things we have to print here. And the next we can go for character vector. Character is held by the 1 byte integer memory. So it is an 1 byte integer memory. Yes, a group of character or a single character may be enclosed with the double quotes. That is, we can call it as an character vector. Whether we can use the single quotes, or it may be used double quotes used to write an character vector. See some of the example for this. Is a D is a variable, is store the name as Subham, and E is a variable.